Good morning, folks. Just a little quickie for an update on what's growing inside and to say hello. The grow room ginger is finally starting to grow. The sweet basil, similar to what was when I tried basil before, so I'm not surprised. Sweet basil is doing the best. I had a lot of lime basil seed left, and well, it's coming along, but not that well. I didn't have very many mammoth basil seed. If I did, then the mammoth basil would be doing better than the lime basil. I have to order some more seed. The evergreen hardy onion, they're doing okay. This is the ring of fire pepper, and he's, in my opinion, doing excellent. Padron hot pepper, this is the second one I took from here. You see, you remember I had planted 5 of each, and so of course when you're doing new varieties, this is one of the reasons why you don't know how they're going to grow in your conditions. I still have 2 padron peppers right here that I could transfer over to that pot and see if they'll grow. The yellow pequino, this pepper is doing well, nice and stocky. The red bell pepper is not doing well. I'll have to try that one again. And the California Wonder, it's coming along. I wouldn't say it's doing great, but it's doing okay. And then if we look in the back here, that's the 2 Tiny Tim tomatoes that once they get a little higher, I'm going to take off the lower leaves and put some more soil up around them and then let them grow. 3 of the bush crop cucumber are up. It looks like the soil might be raising up right there for the 4th one might be growing there. Guess we'll see in a couple of days. This is the chocolate pepper. It looks kind of scraggly because it got damaged from the vole, but I have some peppers growing, which are nice, and it's flowering. See, we got a flower right there. There was a spent flower I just seen there earlier. So it's flowering and setting fruit. Once it gets growing a little more, I will prune it to give it a better look. The vole really done damage on this one, but it's coming back. This is the hot pepper in the grow room. The peppers, as I said, they need to be more dry soil, and so I'm not using this wicking mat here for this shelf. These lights are going on sale at Canadian Tire in February, and so I am going to get 2 more. And then, these peppers and that down here, I'm going to move up to this shelf, and I will start to use this wicking mat for things that take more water. And like the onions, I could take them out of their saucer and just lay them down on the wicking mat. Growing beautifully, as you can see. I'm using the wicking mat here. I keep this container full. That's how I water the plants. And the plants, the soil stays moist. I had to put in a taller stake here because this one was constantly falling over. It's up to the lights. I can raise the lights a little more. Well, this light I can raise a little more, so I probably will, and let it grow a little taller. Down here, you see the sprouting out down here. So when it gets higher, and there's more sprouts right here, I can actually cut that off there, and what I'd end up with would be something like this. You see how it was cut off, and now I got two stalks. And let that plant continue to grow. Here is the tiny Tim that's come back after me breaking it off way down. I can show you this now. You see how we take the lower leaves off. Outside it would be a little different than this, but when they're not getting light, or they're getting light just from above, you see the dead leaf right there. That's what will happen, because only the leaves that are really getting sufficient light are the ones that are staying green. I got this side of my desk done, the upright, and the desktop computer put in there. So next month I think I'm going to get another monitor, and I'll get that computer set up. Nice thing about desktops is that they're very easy to upgrade. I can put in 2 or 3 more hard drives in this without actually doing any changes to the system setup, because I can leave the one in there and have, like I say, 3 or 4 hard drives into one computer. I don't have the material to do this side yet. So far this year I've picked over 140 grams of tomatoes. I didn't weigh them all, but I know I've recorded 90 grams from this plant, and I would say I had another 50 grams at least that I didn't weigh. The peppers, they seem to be going into dormancy, and it is quite possible with the cold weather outside. It's 21 degrees in the kitchen, just 10 feet back, but here it's just 17.6. So it's only 3 or 4 degrees above their actual base temperature. Oh, and Mr. Meadow Vole was in here last night. I have traps around. I have a sticky thing downstairs. I gotta put another sticky thing in to get him. Maybe lay it down right there and see if he'll run over it. But the ginger are growing well. Rosemary. So this is all doing well, and this has come back quite well. I haven't harvested any from this yet, but I think it's growing down right there. I should soon just cut it back up a little bit. As far as surviving goes, you see it's 8 degrees out here in the sunroom. And the leaves feel fairly firm. So on goes the thing. They're not going to grow, as I said. And this pepper didn't get to full maturity just because it was too cold out there, right? I have the other ones still with the bag over them, and they'll sit there dormant all winter. So now I have a couple more tomatoes. I picked 51 grams off of this so far this year. I'll get a few more here now. It's fading back, so that too we'll see. I'm hoping that, as I said in an earlier video, even if I had to cut it right back, it will grow up again from the stub down the bottom. And this silver tree, it's still alive. So I guess we'll see what happens, eh? So far the onions are storing well here in the sunroom. This is the Australian brown. No sign of any growth or rot on these. Conserva shallots, and this is not a conserva shallot. They got mixed somehow. What is this one? You know, I'll tell you in just a second. Because the shallots themselves, they're holding on very well. But these two, this one's not sprouted here, but this one is. They're red spring onions, which they are starting to sprout. So I'm going to have to use these up. And these are Tropicana longa, which doesn't seem to have grown very much since I put them out here. So maybe if I go through and use up all the sprouted ones of those, the rest of them may sit there good until spring. This is the Alyssa Craig, and no sign of rot or, yeah, that one's firm. No sign of rot or sprouting. And this one here is the other red one I have. Where is the label? Can't see the label in there, but that's the other red onion. And they're keeping very well as well. This is the vegetable marrow. Perfectly good. So it's been sitting here now. This is middle of January. So 3 months. This is the very first one that ripened up. Small, but it was fully ripe. And he's good. This is a spaghetti squash. I'm surprised because, as you can see, he's a little tiny thing. He's not fully ripe, but he's keeping very well. And then these, I had a few, but I just ate the other ones. None of these went bad. The white patty pan. But the pumpkin and that other C. Maxima that I had, they're so delicious. But they started to rot. So I had to put them in bottles, and I have some frozen. They didn't hold up as well. Behind me here, let's get my hands right. So you remember from last year, that's the taller ones are some pepper plants, and I have a, let's turn around here. So this is a basil facing north, so it wasn't growing very well. But occasionally I was picking one off, and now that it's come to winter and it was getting no light at all, extremely little, this one decided to die, but this one is still alive. And the pepper plant side here has gone into dormancy. They didn't grow very much all summer, and I got one pepper, I think, off of this one. So that is a lost cause for there. Thank you for watching. Like I say, it's a little short to give you an update on what's going on here inside and to say hello. Hope to see you in the next video. Jotham out.